Okay. I'm just going to do it like this and record it just in case. Okay, so I'm here with Isaiah. Welcome to Starseed Spiritual Awakening Stories. Isaiah is going to share his spiritual awakening story with us today. We could be live on Zoom or we could just be recording. So I'm still trying to figure out the computer system and how to go live right now. So Isaiah, when did your spiritual awakening start? Because I see when you were a child, so this is actually what I see when you first
So
came here.
I went through a lot. I went through a huge depression. Um, and then I was still in that depression and I went to the beach with my mom, my stepdad, um, and my mom's coworkers. And I was just sitting there. I could see dolphins just jumping out of the water. Nobody else could see them. And I just felt so peaceful. And I never felt so peaceful like that. And it was just amazing. Um,
The Pleiadian energies, right?
I'm not
Dolphins are connected to the aquatic, which is the Pleiades.
so then I got home and I was like, what the hell happened to me? Like, like I was all depressed and stuff. I go to the beach and now I feel like I'm completely cured. And I, and then I come across this word, starseed, or like awakening. Um, it was Aaron Dowdy. I don't know
Okay.
if you see his videos,
Yeah,
but
I do. I've heard of him. I've watched his during one of my awakenings. So yeah, I do know who he is. He's a way shower for Starseeds.
yeah. So I watched him and I figured out I had a spiritual awakening, but I didn't really know what that meant. Um, and yeah, I got into meditation, and then like a week or so later, I didn't want that feeling to leave me, and then it did. So I didn't know what was going on, and then I stole some alcohol. Um, so I was into drugs and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, and I got in trouble for that. Um, and I was I used to use I would smoke weed a lot after I had the spiritual awakening because it was kind of like my way back then of tapping into my intuition.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know why I would do it because every night I would feel like I was dying. It was really strong for me. I remember one time I did it in an apartment building and geometric forms were all over the place. Um, and I was like, what's going on? What? And then I remember this one night I was sitting in my room just laying down, and the Arcturus sun kind of like burned up the entire Earth, and
Okay.
I thought it was actually happening because I could feel it, and then and then I thought I died. Um, so they took me to this ship. It was blue, very blue, and I just saw the Earth. It was very advanced technologies. Um, and these beings around me. That's all I could really remember.
Do you know what the beings look like?
They were just blue, and I
They're,
had some other dreams where I was walking around Earth as a blue being. Like when I went to work, I was just a blue being.
yeah. It's the, you can say it's Andromedan, but some of the Arcturians look blue. So you have to probably sit and meditate and ask, was I on an Andromedan ship or was I on an Arcturian? Because the Arcturians come in more purplish, but they can look bluish too. Some of my encounterments, but my big blues, that's what I call them, my big blues. Uh, my higher self calls them that too, but those are Andromedans, and most Andromedans are huge, big blue beings, and they do look very similar to the avatars that we see. You know, the Avatar movie looks kind of similar to that, and then some of them. So you just have to. So it's like energetic big blue beings. I know what you're talking about. So do you think that you were on this planet in the future? Because this is important because you're a time traveler, obviously. So is it, it's, do you know that if it was in the future?
I have no idea because I didn't even know what was happening.
Okay. Because you're energetic. I'm just saying, I don't mean to, the energetic blue being, that's how I see mine too. But it'll fluctuate. But go ahead, you can continue.
Yeah, it was my heart was beating so fast. Like I kind of wanted it to stop, but not really at the same time because I was curious. It was just very confusing because I've never seen anything like it. Um, and I remember having a dream. It wasn't a dream, but I was resting at the time. Um, I had a couple of dreams like this. It was like dark space, and I could see Saturn, and I think it was the Milky Way. Not sure where I was, but that's all I remember about that dream. Um,
Yeah, traveling. You're most likely in your Merkaba
yeah,
traveling.
there's
Mm-hmm.
there's there was a couple nights I remember, like I would wake up and I was just doing light language, and I felt like the Merkaba slowing down and then just waking up. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I like to um, know more.
You know, no, well, slowing up and slowing. I've been in my I've been so where my whole brain was going like like literally my whole brain was going in all these rotational directions because it's connected. It's a conscious ship. So the whole it was going like shaking and shattering, if that makes any sense. And I was the whole head was spinning. So I've had that happen to me in the Merkava vehicle, and then I would, you know, be plopped, basically switched from one dimension to the next dimension, and wake up, and I was like, oh, thank you guys for bringing me back from wherever I was not in the highest dimension of this earth. So yeah, I do know what your experiences are, and I've had many experiences of being in the Mercury vehicle roller coaster ride. I call it. So I think it's funny. So do you have any other experiences that you can remember?
Um, yes. So hold on. Oh yeah, I wrote down something to speak to you. Oh yeah, there's this one night that me and my mom, we have like a dock down
Mm-hmm.
the road that I sometimes like to go to. Um, Lots of trees, lots of nature around. And I was just sitting down there. We were talking about my friend that I had a long time ago, like elementary school, 2, 3 years old, 4 years old. I don't remember what happened exactly. Um, how we split apart. But yeah, I was talking about her, and then I walked back. I w- I'm very close with Archangel Michael. At least I like to think I am. Um,
Yeah,
and
you are. You are.
I got this message. Whenever I get messages, I just feel my third eye just it feels like somebody's pressing in on it,
Hmm.
and then just thoughts come through. So I was walking back home, and I had a thought, this is going to be the most intense experience of your life. And I said, okay. So I got home, and then he told me to lay down and put on like uh, child healing the past from the childhood. Um, and so I laid down. Right when I laid down, I just started bawling my eyes out. And then I shut off my light, and I I was just screaming, like screaming, I surrender, crying a whole lot, and then after, like it felt like something was coming out of me, like my body was lifting up. So I felt like something was coming out of me. I don't know what it was, but then my mom came in. She gave me a hug and told me, "You're safe. I'm here." And I was breathing like extremely fast. My heart was beating really, really fast. Um, and after she came in and told me all that, I just closed my eyes, and I was just laughing, um, because of how, because I don't know. I don't know why I was laughing, but just the ecstasy and bliss that I was feeling. Um, and then I closed my eyes, I saw Jesus, and then he came through and told me, um, I don't remember what he said, but no, he didn't say anything. I just felt his presence, and I saw him like kind of form under my vision, and then the next day, I woke up
Yeah.
very peaceful. Then like a week later, I took these seeds. They were called Hawaiian baby woodrows. They're legal psychedelic. I don't know if you heard of them before, but I took those. I took 50 of them because I was called to take 50. I don't. But I took those, and then I had like a eating disorder. I would eat a bunch of crap. I remember that day I ate pancakes, like a bunch of pancakes. Um, and I ate those seeds. They make you throw up, sometimes, I
Okay.
think. But yeah, I ate those. It was 50 of them. I crushed them up and put them under the sun for like a week to absorb the energy from the sun. Um, and I threw up. Um, I threw up, and then I was just dancing for 3 hours. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, like the Kundalini was active or something like that. I What's it called?
Activated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
The Kundalini can be activated through dancing. It's actually it's a way of activating her kundalini, at least the flow of it. Yeah, it's ancient techniques from like all over. Different.
You're breaking up.
You can activate your kundalini. I know. I think we're having. Okay, you can keep going.
Okay. Um. So
Are
yeah,
you frozen?
What'd you say? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
happened.
because I don't know if it has something to do with us being live or not. Okay.
Okay. So that happened, and then but before I threw up, I remember it was 12 o'clock in the morning, and I went to I went I went outside. I went for a walk down to the park, and the they do this thing at night with mosquito spray. You go down the street and just spray
Mm-hmm.
stuff to kill the mosquitoes, and then I just started crying, bawling my eyes out again, and then I got to the dock, to the park, and I felt like I wanted to cry more because I felt so much empathy for the planet. So I did a meditation healing the planet. Um, and then I felt so blissful after that. And then I called my sister. Her name's Mariah. And she said, "Why are you crying?" Like it was like one of those cries where I couldn't breathe. Like I was bawling my eyes out. And I said, "Oh, they're destroying the planet. Um, what what are they doing to this planet? Like we're all destroying it." Um, and then she kind of told me, "Well, we're going to a better future. There's electronic cars." And that kind of calmed me down a bit. And then I had this stepbrother. Um, I felt like I needed to give him a hug because I've never really talked to him or told him how much I appreciate him. So I ran home. First thing I did was throw up. It was so cleansing. Like felt everything leave me, water, everything I ate. Um, and then the dancing happened, and then I felt so much ecstasy, so I ran into his room. This was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I hugged him, and I said, I was still on the psychedelics. And I hugged him, and I said, what did I say? Like I said, I prayed for it to be like it was, like how it was in the beginning. And I said I wanted to be like Soul Land, like how it was peaceful. And he totally freaked out. So then he went to get my parents. And when he walked out, I never thought I could scream that loud in my life. He walked out, and then I closed my eyes. So much bliss and ecstasy was taking over me. Like like I don't know how to explain it, but I just screamed, so loud. Probably the neighborhood next door could hear me. It was really loud. It was like I was getting stabbed with the scream. Because the ecstasy and bliss was taking over the fears. Well, that's how I see it. And then my dad comes in. He says, "What are you doing, screaming in his room?"
Yeah.
And then I said, "I'm trying to tell you, there's aliens
Well,
here."
it's a Kundalini awakening.
Yeah. I said, "I'm trying to tell you, there's aliens opening a portal for another dimensional timeline to come through." And then he thinks I'm totally crazy. and then
I can only imagine. I don't do psychedelics. So my parents just sit there and roll with me going, okay, they know I don't do I've never done psychedelics. I've never done acid. I've never, everything I've done is I was activated on, but I can understand because I've said some things like, I say stuff like that all the time.
yeah.
Kind of funny.
He comes into my room, like, asking me, "Why are you screaming in his room?" He's wearing his underwear. He's like totally freaked out. 3 o'clock in the morning, and I tell him there's aliens here, opening a new timeline for humanity.
Yeah.
And then he said, I don't remember the whole conversation, but all I remember was that, and then I never had like visions so strong in my life. The visions didn't start until after I screamed. I guess that was channeling or something. And he told me to lay down and get some sleep, and I just lay down. I feel completely at peace, like not caring at all. Like I just knew that, like I thought I could, like I felt peaceful. The fact that I was gonna die, because I thought I was gonna die. I tried to like, because I thought like my family would like never see me the same way again. So I just exhaled all my air out and just tried to hold it for as long as I could. I thought I was just gonna die, and then I just accepted it. And then all these visions, it was like a triangle spinning with a bunch of dots around it, and a bunch of other stuff all around me.
That's cool. So that's like sacred, different types of sacred geometry.
Yeah.
That's normal too. Yeah. Usually we meet as you go later on, because I know you take psychedelics, but eventually those are going to have to subside because you're going to have to detox for them eventually. This is something that people do ayahuasca, and I've had some friends, and that's how they connect to source energy. So what you're experiencing, and I just want to note for people that are having Kundalini awakenings, first of all, it's an actual genetic bloodline it's a genetic strand, just one strand of DNA, one life body, if you want to say a crystalline life body as far as the Kundalini opening. Yeah, it's the Kundalini is an actual it has to do with a race. Okay, so this is just one strand to activate for a life body. This is something that was downloaded to me, and that's the reason why it's the serpent energy, and the serpent, it has to do with the serpent being race. That was something that's just, it's a starting point of your crystalline light body, but there's so many different types of light bodies, and I want to get into some of your abilities just for a second. Do you have an understanding of what your abilities are? When you see and you're laying there and you are seeing kind of like a movie screen, you know how you are seeing the planet, the Arcturus sun burning up something, you're actually seeing this through your third eye. This is a movie screen, except for your third eye is really huge and you have a really big screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, this is an ability that starseeds have. Okay, so either the screen's going to be really big, or you can actually see it when you're sleeping through your third eye. It kind of looks like a movie
You're starting to break
screen.
up.
This is a holographic reality, and we do know that. Okay. Wait. Okay. So, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it's a holographic reality. So think about your okay, that's fine. I'll go into it. Your Merkaba vehicle is a quantum computer system in itself. So I want you to know when you're actually seeing these, you are actually seeing through your Merkaba vehicle, but you're seeing through it's your heart center. It's either your third eye movie screen or it's your heart center movie screen. We have two screens. We have one through our heart center, because this is how I do all my healing, is through, and it looks like a blueprint, kind of looks like a holographic in front of us, or you are seeing through your third eye movie screen. Okay, and I call it movie screen. So that's how you're seeing the visions that you're seeing, not just with hallucinogens, but you're actually, this is how you are seeing it. They call it a form of remote view, but for us star seeds and galactic, if you want to say, and the abilities that I'm at with the quantum computer system, these are our different projection screens, if you want to see. So we're able to receive information, downloads. You can see the grid lines also of this planet. You can also tap into your Akashic records and different past lives of galactic things, or even planetary universal events that are going on right now. So I want you to know, Isaiah, that this is actually an ability that you have. Okay. The blissfulness, getting back to the Kundalini energy, this is the integration of source consciousness and God consciousness in itself, filling your body up. The lifting out is your heart expansion. Okay, so I just want you to know, don't go in doubt anymore, because you were like, well, I think Michael the Archangel is with me. Michael the Archangel is with you. It's the same thing as the blue beings and the way that you see yourself. They're dimensional beings. They're in the fifth dimension. Yeah, they're in the fifth dimension and then into the seventh dimension. Okay, you can telepathically communicate with these beings. You're telepathic. Majority of star seeds are, the whole human race is, but they've been shut down and under control for a long time. So you can keep going. Do you have anything else to share about your wild experiences? Do you have any more extraterrestrial encounterments?
I do every single night. I can see them, kind of like with my, like as if they're actually standing there.
Yeah,
But it's only in the dark.
me too. I call it my cat eyes.
And one thing I say about the psychedelics, that was the only time I did it.
That's fine. That's what you needed to do, right?
Yeah.
So, yep. Cool. That's amazing. Any other beautiful experiences from these Hawaiian seeds? I hear some wild experiences with some of my friends doing shrooms. I'm like, you guys, you go for it. I can't even imagine me being on shrooms. Because I told her, I was like, this is my life every day. One of my good friends, she's like, Brittany, I was you for one day. And she's like, wow, I can't believe what you have to do all day long. You know, it's kind of funny. So I think they're beautiful experiences because they do help you open doors, but not, you don't want to, you want to be able to activate your DNA and your started DNA to start producing the DMT in your brain. And that's what's going to accelerate. And your Kundalini, working with your Kundalini and your crystalline light body is going to help you start producing more of your DMT in your brain to be so you can access more higher states of consciousness and different consciousness to be able to see through the seventh dimension.
So I remember this one time at work. Um, like I know that I'm telepathic. Like I communicate with guides all the time, but when I'm at work and I do it, it's just like, who are these people all around me? Like, they just look so like I see the light inside of them, but what they're doing to their body, like drinking alcohol, is just terrible. Um, so yeah, I'm like receiving this download or just feeling the energy. I'm not sure what it was, but I was in another dimension while trying to sweep up stuff under the table. So that was interesting.
Yeah, you can. Yep. I used to wait tables. At one point, I was a bartender, and I realized that I was remote viewing for a long time, and didn't realize I was going into other dimensions, and I would be sitting there just like on autopilot waiting tables, and I was literally walking in between the veils and going into totally different dimensions and talking to my guides or going and checking on my friends or being like, oh, I wonder how they're doing, you know. But like sitting there just walking literally through different dimensions. And this is also another ability that we have. I just did a Starseed Alchemist Academy class that explains all these cool abilities that we do have. So yeah, you're doing it because I do it all the time. You're walking into other. I used to just sit there and be like, I'd be sitting there serving on autopilot, and I'd be totally in like a totally different place, dimension somewhere else in the higher realms. There's different dimensions, so it's kind of funny going through training while I'm just sitting here walking in front of you.
Yeah, like it happens all the time. Maybe like every single day when I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around like just looking at people, smiling. Sometimes I catch myself looking at them, staring at them intensely.
Yep.
Just amazed at the miracle of life. And oh yeah, I used to have this dream every single night when I was a kid. My dad said it started to happen after I watched Ghostbusters. And I could feel it. I could feel it happening, and it would like to the point where I would close my eyes and I would be there. It was so scary. I would just close my eyes, lay down, and I would go to this dimension, look like these demonic entities,
Okay.
blood everywhere. They were like kind of pull me in this direction that I didn't want to go to because I knew what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a ball. They would put me into a ball, and I would just ride a train or a roller coaster. I don't know really what it was, but I felt like they were like I was being squished to death.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much beings that give children nightmares.
Hmm.
Okay, I do know that. So, yeah, that's that's probably what was happening there.
And another time in elementary school, I would always go to the bathroom. I loved to go to the bathroom because I could just stare at myself in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
ask myself, who am I? And I would just be aware of the physical body. And I say, oh, see, you're not this physical body. If you can be aware of it, that would get me. And I don't know, I'm kind of just getting into it a little bit, but I'm still aware of the telepathic abilities and remote view. It's just kind of confusing, but
Yeah,
interesting.
that's pretty. That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. If that's all that you have, I think it's amazing. Thank you for coming out and speaking your true and authentic self. And you also started doing light language. So I'm hoping that maybe you'll start your own channel so you can start healing people and being a way shower. There's different spiritual initiations that we have to go through. So, and I believe that like one of them is removing our veils of illusion and certain seals that are placed on us. And there is starseed seals too, different types of controls that need to come off in order for you to trust and believe in your abilities and who you are and what your highest purpose is here and your highest mission here. You definitely have a beautiful mission as a soul healer and a planetary healer. So I do see that in certain contracts here and you coming in here. So getting out there and speaking and being at your true and authentic self is important. Definitely important. Yeah, the galactic family says that they love you and they want you to know that they do stand in front of you and that you are really seeing them. Okay, and it's probably hard fluctuating from a 3D dimensional life, and this is coming straight from them, from a 3D dimensional life and having to still live in a house with people that are fluctuating, or I'm sorry, you're living more in the 5D, but still kind of like fluctuating, trying to fluctuate and going in and out of doubt because you have some people around you that don't believe in you, right?
Yeah.
And that happens to all of us, waking up, kind of like looking around going, what, wow, okay. It's like the alien really waking up inside. Now, granted, we want to raise their vibrations and give them positive outlooks, right? You will be taken to your soul family soon. So you will find your soul family and your soul tribe soon, and your galactic council wants you to know that there are certain veils that need to be removed, and you can do it yourself with them because you can see them. Okay. Yeah, the Andromedans stand in front of you a lot, and they're the blue beings that you see. So you have other ones too that are around you. And they want you to know this. It's just really, really important. And it's important for anybody who watches this and listens that they actually are staring at us majority of the time, looking at us, wanting us to wake up, especially the ones that came in here as volunteers. Some of us are here in different rehab situations, which is fine. I have a different point of view. Uh, as what I see it more than a kind of an enslavement trap, but that's fine. That's why we came in here and we volunteered to come in because we're going to help awaken the planet. The planet was already going through ascension as it was. Anyways, there's an ascension cycle every 26,000 years. So it's kind of where we came in for the movement and for cleaning a lot of things up and things that were happening here that were not good at all. Are still not good at all. That's what my counsel's like, but they are being cleaned up. So you're doing a fabulous job, and the Galactic Council say how much they do love you, and they want you to believe in yourself and your abilities, because your abilities can advance and grow. The more you believe in your abilities, the more they're going to advance and grow. You're going to have different abilities and different memories that are going to come online. Okay, so they want you to know that. If there's anything else that you want to add to your story.
I just wanted to ask you, when you said the lifting the veils, can you do you know exactly what I have to remove?
Yeah, there's Jehovah, they're called Jehovian seals, different seals, different controls. We have implants. I can give you a list of them because I think you can just do it with them, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's a whole list of things that need to go because we have traps and booby traps and karma traps. There's disease traps. There's implants. There's certain things that need to come off. There's certain seals in certain areas too that need to come off. There's also different types of density, our density levels, which I think you're doing great on that. You have to pull off all your density. That's another thing that you have to do. They call it the ego, but the ego to me is more of I call it more of like a control in a sense at this point, as far as my observations go. Your galactic councils can help you remove the starseed veils and those type of different types of veils too. I do removals too as well, but the Andromedans are saying that you know how to do things yourself. Okay. So, archons, yeah, there's different archons. Working out and moving your physical body will actually help to remove any implants, okay, in your body. So, running, working out, doing type of yoga, you can actually crush them out. I will be doing a training on this later on in the future. I call it more of my Jedi training that I would like to do. So this is going to be a little bit in the future where I've had certain my higher selves explain to me this is how you do things. This is how you can remove certain things. But you have to take care of your physical vessel. You have to move your vessel, and that was one of the things that was told to me because we have too much source energy coming in as we advance and going through our ascension. You have to start taking care of the physical vessel, and my brother is the one that he brought that to my attention, and he's Ryan from Unite the Collective, and him and Alex do an awesome show. If you want to look it up, Unite the Collective, they're awesome. They do etheric tech stuff of Organite as well. But yeah, it was like, yeah, you gotta go work out, chick. That's what he's like, go and run and stuff. But my training that I had with my galactic councils was pretty much the same. It was the same thing they were telling me, except for I wasn't listening at that point in time. So and they kept telling me you have to work out, and then they explain how to get rid of certain implants and electronics and tags and stuff like that you can actually remove them physically from doing exercise. So this was training for my galactics, and of course I had to go and hear it from my brother, who's doing an awesome job in Arizona. So these are just certain ideas if you want to know how to remove things. Removing and lifting the veils is pretty much one step at a time, but I think you do really well with that. So from listening to what you say, I think you're doing an amazing job. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So this is Isaiah. Thank you so much for sharing. It was amazing, amazing story. Thank you. Thank you for speaking your true and authentic self and coming out of hiding. So excited. All right.